showcasing the leaders behind the headlines in the telecom and data center infrastructure industry.
Hey guys, welcome to our podcast series, Data Movers. I'm your host, Jamie Scotto-Kataya, CEO and founder of JSA, along with my fabulous co-host, top B2B social media influencer and friend, Mr. Evan Christel. Hey, Evan.
Hey, Jamie, and hey, everyone. Welcome to Data Movers, where we sit down with the most influential men and women of today's leading telco and data center world, supporting the network infrastructure requirements of our modern world. And Jamie, speaking of modern applications, have you tried Threads, the latest super hot social media app?
It's incredible. It's taken over social history, right? I mean, so many incredible users. I guess you can just import your Instagram followers right over, so you
Yeah,
don't
it's
have to
basically
start from
Instagram
zero.
Lite. It's 100 million users in 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very excited to have my 2,000 followers. But what do you think? Is there room for another? I mean, we have Twitter, we have Quora, we have LinkedIn and Reddit and Facebook and YouTube and Instagram. Do I need to go on?
Well, I mean, you're my social media expert, of course, but I mean, if it's got its own unique identity, I feel like that's interesting. But I don't want it to go the way of Clubhouse. But under the Meta brand, I'm sure they know what they're up to, and it's sort of, again, the light version. There's a lot of features lacking that like Twitter and others have. So it does pique my interest. I'm looking forward to seeing how it transforms over the coming months for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big experiment, I think, frankly. I think ultimately it'll end up within Instagram as an app, but in the meantime, there's a lot of excitement, and it's sort of a kinder, gentler version of Twitter. So with all of the oversight and things that Twitter lacks at the moment. But speaking of kinder and gentler, we have a really cool guest that's not controversial at all. So I'm excited to chat with them.
Yeah, good transition, my friend. And as you guys know, with Data Movers, our guests really, what we try to do with our guests is just dive right in there into their background stories, learn about their career highs and lows, their perspectives on the future of our industry. And I'm really excited about our guest today, Yousof Naderi. He's the CEO of DeepCharge, which is, as you may know, a technology startup really reshaping the world of energy through innovative wireless charging solutions and AI. So we love a good AI story. Welcome, Yusuf.
Right. Thank you. Thank you for having me here. Good to be talking to you.
Yeah, good to be talking to you, Yusuf. And you're a fellow Boston area resident. Jamie's originally from Rhode Island, so this is a bit of a New England edition.
Yeah.
But maybe introduce yourself to our audience, a little bit about your background in tech and how it led you to co-founding DeepCharge.
Absolutely. My name is Yousof Naderi, CEO and co-founder of DeepCharge. Speaking about background, I think it comes all, as I remember, the passion for wireless network and actually network itself and building the experimental system. And later, really putting the research and commercialization together. We were working at Northeastern University in Boston in a wireless charging research, actually, and we found we did some breakthrough. We found that this would be exciting and really trying to build and spin out through the DeepCharge now a few years ago. Looking back, it passed very fast, but very excited about what we have been built, really a technology that coming from a research environment and then putting it and pushing it to the market. And we are seeing a lot of positive side here. I'd love to share, how we see the future of wireless energy infrastructure.
Yeah, actually, that's a really great lead in to my question, which is, reading on your website, DeepCharge's mission to revolutionize the way we charge our devices, which I found very interesting, intriguing. Mm-hmm. So how do you envision the future of wireless charging? What steps is your company taking to really shape the future?
Yeah, absolutely. So currently, when we look at the state of the art, we are seeing wires, adapters, and these extra things that we need to carry on, and you need to manually remember when you want to charge the devices, when maybe you forgot it, and there is no infrastructure to support the charging. What we see as a future, it is about wireless energy infrastructure, an infrastructure that is intelligent enough to sense and charge your devices. So you can take your mind off of thinking, okay, when and how to charge devices, but also bring the connectivity to that infrastructure. So the facility manager, IT manager, and all of the stakeholders be able to manage, to schedule, to monitor that infrastructure. And we can talk about all of the problem we have today, and sustainability is one of the problem. All of these disconnected solution that we have today, adapter per device, different type of the adapter, and for level of the battery and level of the type of the connector. We are hearing from our customer. We went 2 times to the Mars. We haven't solved this problem in Earth. And I think for DeepCharge, we come from wireless industry. So we know that, okay, there should be a better way to solve the energy issue. And that is not to build a better, more isolated transmitter and receiver, is to create infrastructure and networked solution. And I'm sure that your audience know about the benefit of networking, and I can put some light to this benefit.
Absolutely. That's fantastic. And as many of our viewers know, we often talk about sustainability initiatives and effort in the digital infrastructure sector. It's an absolute passion project of Jamie. She's actually turned a slight shade of green just from all of the clean tech talk here on the show. But no, she hasn't. But in all seriousness, how does DeepCharge incorporate the sustainable vision into its wireless charging solutions and in minimizing environmental impact all around?
Right. I think the way I look at, and we look at to play in the sustainability, is with the 3 pillars. The pillar of the energy efficiency and consumption, the pillar of the emission, and also electronic waste. So I can talk a little about each of these. When we talk about energy consumption, what we are hearing from IT managers, the facility manager, and other people in the industry is that they don't have a control to schedule and manage what devices being connected, being charged, when they turn off, what is happening there, because there is no connectivity there. So in DeepCharge, we have been built this intelligent hardware software solution you install into an existing infrastructure, like a desk, a stand-up desk, a office workspace, anything that you have today. You don't need to do anything else. You install this intelligent module under the surface, and they create a network together, and they're intelligent enough to charge and collect the data. Charge your devices and collect the data. Now, what is the point here? What is energy efficiency? There are 2 important pieces of energy efficiency. One is we enable remote monitoring and management. So a facility manager, IT manager can schedule according to the behavior of the user and actual activity when these devices need to be turned on, when it goes to a standby. So we are getting a lot of huge energy saving there. But there is another story, and I'm sure it resonates for your audience as well, and that is the galvanic nitrium revolution that is happening in data center as well. We just haven't seen it in the other spaces, like office space and workspace and other things. So in DeepCharge, we are building our system based on using the GaN technology. Now, what is the benefit? The benefit is they are extremely more efficient in terms of transfer of the energy. When you look at the current adapter, the best state-of-the-art silicon-based adapter, you are losing 50% power per adapter. Now, in DeepCharge, we are removing all of those adapters. You need only 1 per surface, per infrastructure. And that even have a more than 95% end-to-end efficiency. So you can do the calculation, the geometric power loss of this separate adapter compared to the DeepCharge, which you need 1 with a high efficiency based on a GaN. So that's one part of the story. Scheduling, GaN, use of the GaN. It comes to the electronic waste and emission. We are basically removing all of these separate individual adapters. just looking at how much CO2 would be generated because of inside of each of these adapter that we are using, the plastic, but also the material. Now, over a simple workspace organization, how many adapters they have. So we are exponentially remove this adapter, maybe 5 to 6 per desk. And that's a huge saving in terms of electronic waste, in terms of plastic, and so on. But these are basically high level, I think, view that we think the future, a sustainable future, needs to come with a more intelligent infrastructure and not wire. We look at a world free from wire and dead batteries. That's the mission here in DeepCharge.
Wow, I think you gave us so many real tangible benefits in that last response. But do you have any other tangible benefits of using DeepCharge products from an environmental perspective before we move over to a case study?
Right. I think putting these pieces together from energy generation and save of the energy to the material itself, I think this is a pretty comprehensive look at here. And what we are really excited is the software that also comes with here and the AI piece. So we are talking about some of the very interesting optimization that can happen through the software and AI. Even you don't need to be involved. You don't, because the data being collected, nobody has a control to use this data. So we are putting all those data and putting the AI also to improve, to also to for the maintenance and predictive maintenance. That's a super key. And I think those are also contribute to sustainability.
I love that.
Fantastic.
Yes.
So where are you in your rollout? And can you share any, success stories or case studies where your sustainable charging solutions have really helped businesses or individuals reduce their energy consumption or carbon footprint, that sort of thing?
Yeah. So we launched our early access program for enterprises and corporate this year, and we are getting amazing, basically, interest and traction. They are from businesses to the higher education that we are talking about, and there are some immediate tangible benefit that when the user look at the energy consumption, all of the graph and monitor that our dashboard provide and how basically they are saving energy, I think that's a big hit for them. But also the convenience and effectivity and productivity aspect that it brings to the work environment. So we have a business customer, we have a higher education, but also we have an industrial setting that they like to do automation for charging. And we are basically our infrastructure enable that automation, so they know that when this device needs to be recharged and then how the robots need to be connected to that. So yeah, that program actually is happening, and we love to look at also potential new customer as well as we go. But it is a very basically interesting start for us.
Well, definitely. That's incredible. And of course, as the CEO of DeepCharge, what is your long-term vision? What are you thinking about for integrating sustainability into your company's strategy? And how do you plan to inspire other companies, as you are, but particularly in the consumer technology sector, as to prioritize sustainability?
Right. I think DeepCharge and a story and relationship with sustainability is really a value-based and personal story. When we look at structuring the reason we exist and the reason we want to create a value, there was solving some technical challenges, and we said, okay, we want to bring connectivity, we want to bring the productivity, but also it was about protecting our Earth, our planet, the environment that we are living. And I think that's very important because that I would say the top three core in DeepCharge. And personally, I believe any growth needs to be a sustainable growth. A company can contribute to a sustainable growth with having a product that are sustainable as well. I think we have a responsibility for that. And I think we are really passionate and excited. And I think if everybody else look at it as a more personal and inner out perspective, not just a profit, not just because of that those will come, but really from the perspective, okay, we want to care about this and we have a choice to make here. I think that's how we see it. And hopefully play a part in this revolution of the eliminating wires and make a more sustainable planet.
Well said.
Wonderful. Well said. Well, we're going to shift into our rapid fire question phase where we try to catch you off guard or embarrass you in some way. So let's talk electric vehicles. Actually, speaking of wireless charging, you're starting to see different options for wireless charging of cars, buses, and other vehicles. Fascinating stuff. But what's your favorite electric vehicle these days, and why?
All right. Without advertising anybody, but Tesla, I think I like that. Being, DeepCharge having that innovation mindset and being basically early into this innovation, we value that. And it has a pretty good charging performance. So we like that as well. And I think the whole story of the software-defined hardware that we are building here and seeing, we are seeing really that car is a hardware that become more intelligent with the software. I think we will see everywhere in future that kind. So I think these are the reasons to get a little excited about this particular company and what we are building here in US.
Nice.
Interesting. Okay, so other than DeepCharge's technology, what other emerging technologies are you most excited about?
For sure, AI. I think looking back, coming also from the little academic background, we had all of this theory for AI, but really recently we got off the guard with the really exponential growth and use case of this AI. So I'm really excited, and I'm particularly interested in integration of the AI and hardware. And I think that would be important from the infrastructure. We will see more, but also into the human body. I really think that we are seeing more bio intelligence devices, also more intelligent infrastructure for part of a smart city that we need to see and work.
Nice. Another question here. Latest favorite book you've read or audiobook? What would you recommend?
Right. I think, it was Infinite Game from Simon Sinek. I think
Ooh, good one.
Yeah, I read other books, but this one I think I really like it and read it recently. So I can recommend.
Writing that one down. I love that. Okay, and of course we mentioned you're a Bostonite as well. DeepCharge based in Boston. Have you and you've lived there for a number of years. What is your favorite thing to do in that fabulous city? And on the rare time that you take a day off from your work.
Yeah, that's difficult to answer, given a lot of. But personally, I love Charles River. And walking to that. I mean, this is a beautiful river and the nice view. So not far from that. So I usually go walk there and love that.
Yeah,
Okay, well, walking is fine, but I need to take you to the North End. We're going to grab a cannoli, cappuccino.
After that, yes.
Have some spaghetti and meatballs. Well, I'll show you a good time here. We need to do more than walking on the Charles. But or Jamie, you're invited as well. You'll have a good cannoli.
Well, cannoli, I'm in.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Yusuf, for sharing your mission and vision. It's so spectacular to see the advancements in wireless charging. Tesla would be proud, not the car, the man, of your progress. And I can't wait to try it, see the technology in action. I know I'll be at CES this year in Las Vegas, and I'm sure you'll be there. And hopefully we'll see lots of customers and OEMs and other exciting news at the show.
Great.
Yeah, and guys, if you're watching us on video, not just listening into the audio podcast, we did put up a scan here for this fabulous URL, which is DeepCharge.io. So go ahead and scan it and check out more on DeepCharge. And if you've enjoyed today's Data Movers podcast, I'm sure you did, hopefully, right? Go ahead and check out jsa.net/podcast for other upcoming episodes released weekly, as well as, of course, our other JSA podcast series.
And follow us on Threads and Twitter at Jay Scotto and Evan Kirstel, and drop us a thread. Is that a thing? I don't know. I'm very confused. But thank you.
Us? Yeah, I feel like my eyebrows. I don't know. It's a weird word. All right, guys. Thanks so much for listening in. And as always, happy networking.